Hi students, so welcome to another session with Naveen sir. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about speed and velocity. So in last lecture, we discussed about distance, displacement, in the same way how to locate the position of an object with the help of the coordinate system. So in this lecture we are going to deal with speed and velocity. So before going to discuss about speed and velocity, let us discuss about two types of motion, that is, one is uniform motion and the other is non-uniform motion. Sir, what is mean by uniform motion and what is mean by non-uniform motion? So uniform motion nothing but if the object covers equal distances in equal interval of time. So then its motion is said to be uniform motion. So what about non-uniform motion? So non-uniform motion nothing but what? So unequal distances in equal time intervals or equal distances in unequal time intervals. So that kind of motion is said to be non-uniform motion. Okay, right. In our daily life, some motions will be classified into uniform motion, some motions will be classified into non-uniform motion based on the movement. So how the position of an object changes with respect to the time, based on that we are going to confirm whether the motion is uniform or non-uniform motion. Right. So let us take a look about the speed and velocity. Sir, what is mean by speed and what is mean by velocity? But sir, what is the actual meaning of speed and velocity? What the information given by speed and velocity? So speed and velocity gives the information about change in position of an object with respect to time. That means simply we can say that how fast the position of an object changes with respect to the time is given by speed and velocity. Sir, both will give the same information. So again, why you are classifying them as speed and velocity? So speed and velocity, the certain differences will be there. If the change in position of an object in any direction with respect to the time is calculated or measured by using the term speed, in a particular direction or in a specified direction, the change in position will be measured in terms of velocity. So first we will discuss speed and later we will move to the velocity. So what is mean by speed? Speed is nothing but it is the distance travelled by the body per unit time. Distance travelled by an object in unit time. That means in 1 second, whatever the distance travelled by the body is measured in terms of speed. So generally we can write speed as distance by time. So what about its unit? So unit of the distance is meter, unit of time is second. Therefore SI unit of speed is meter per second and CGS unit of time is centimeter per second. So here the speed never gives the information about direction of motion. Okay, now it never gives any information about direction of motion. So what is the direction of the body? We cannot get the information from the same speed. Just we are going to get its magnitude. For suppose from A to B, an object is moving by covering a distance of 200 meter in a time interval of 40 seconds. Then in that case we are going to get the speed as a distance by time. Therefore 200 by 40, we are going to get 5 meter per second. Sir, what is mean by this 5 meter per second? This 5 meter per second is nothing but in 1 second the object covers 5 meters of distance, but there is no information about direction. Only it gives the information about the magnitude. And in the same way, it is a scalar quantity because we are not getting any information about direction of motion. That's why simply we can say that it is a scalar quantity. So in our daily life we are measuring the speed in terms of kilometer per hour. So 1 kilometer per hour. So generally we need this conversion when the speed of an object will be given in kilometer per hour. So 1 kilometer per hour is equals to, we can write 1 kilometer, so 1000 meter by 1 hour, 3600 second. So what we are going to get, 5 by 18 meter per second. So this conversion is useful when if you want to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second and meter per second into kilometer per hour. So to convert meter per second into kilometer per hour, so 1 meter per second is equals to 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. That means to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, we should multiply with 5 by 18. To convert meter per second into kilometer per hour, we should multiply with 18 by 5. So this conversion is needed when the values are given in terms of kilometer per hour. So then what about its dimension formula? So coming to its dimension formula, so length capital L time t, so LT power minus 1 is the dimension formula of the speed. So here in speed we are measuring in different manners. So that means we are getting the different information about speed of an object in different manners. So what are they? So speed we are going to express as instantaneous speed, average speed, uniform speed, and the last one is non-uniform speed. So what is the difference between these speeds? So instantaneous speed is nothing but it gives the information about speed of an object at the particular instant of time. So what is the meaning of this? So generally when you are traveling in a bike or in a bus or in a vehicle, so we have a meter. So in last lecture we discussed about this meter. There is the 2 meters will be there in this. One is odometer, which gives information about distance traveled by the body. Another one will be which gives the information about speed of an object. So as we are increasing the race, as we are pressing the accelerating, pedal, what will happen? There is a one pointer will be there. So this pointer will be shifting as we are pressing this, it continuously changing. It never be constant. So as you are applying the force on the pedal increases, the reading on the speedometer will be also changes. That means this pointer shows at that particular instant of time whatever the speed of the object. So that is known to be instantaneous speed. So speedometer of an automobile gives the information about instantaneous speed. It never measures the average speed, it never measures the uniform speed, it never gives information about non-uniform speed. It gives the information only about at that particular instant of time what is the speed of the object. Okay, sir, how can we express in a equating form? So instantaneous speed we can represent like this. So limit of delta t tends to 0 delta x by delta t. Sir, what is the meaning of this? For suppose an automobile is moving from point A to point B. So in its journey, so we can divide its journey into small interval of time. For suppose 0 to 20 seconds. So in 0 to 20 seconds, we can divide these seconds into small interval of time. That means whenever the time interval delta t tends to 0, that means when small time interval, so within this time interval whatever the distance travelled by the body, that means the change in position of the body is known to be instantaneous speed. For suppose from 4 seconds to 5 seconds, within this 4 second to 5 second its value is almost all close to 0 only. So that means the time interval is very small and approaches to 0. When time interval is approaches to 0, in 4 to 5 seconds whatever the distance travelled by the body, for suppose it covers a distance of 50 centimeter in 1 second, or if we take 0.1 second, in 0.1 second it covers a distance of 50 centimeter. That means time interval is approaches to 0. So in that case we are going to write delta x as 50 by 0.1. So we are going to get 500 centimeter per second. So in this way we are going to get the instantaneous speed of an object. So instantaneous speed nothing but it is the limit of the change in position with respect to change in time when time interval approaches to 0, and the unit and everything will be same. Unit is meter per second, CGS unit is centimeter per second, dimension formula is LT power minus 1. So this is about instantaneous speed. You just remember one point here. So instantaneous speed nothing but at that particular time whatever the speed of an object, that is known to be instantaneous speed. Now let us come to the average speed. Sir, what is mean by average speed? So V bar, sorry, S bar we can represent, or as average. So average speed we are going to write as it is the total distance travelled by body, total distance travelled by total time taken. So what is the meaning of this? Let us consider an object is moving the same A to B in t1 seconds x1, in t2 seconds x2, in t3 x3, t4 x4, like that. So here It covers a distance of x1 in t1 second, total distance. So x1 plus x2 plus x3 and so on. If you are dividing that distance into n equal n parts xn, therefore time t1 plus t2 plus t3 and so on tn. So this is the average speed of an object. So simply it is the total distance travelled by the body to the total time taken. So in this case, let us discuss some special cases related to the average speed. Okay, right. So case 1. Right. Let us take an object is covering a distance x1 with a speed v1 and x2 distance with a speed I am referring s1 and s2, and next x3 with the speed s3. So in this case they are asking what is the average speed of the journey. Okay now, so here what we are going to write, if an object covers x1 comma x2 and x3 distances with speeds s1 comma s2 and s3 respectively, then we are going to find its average speed in the journey. So average speed, what we are going to write, s bar is equals to total distance by total time taken. So total distance is what, x1 plus x2 plus x3 by t1 plus t2 plus t3. If n distances will be there, we can write xn. I am restricting this expression up to x3. If you want to write, you can extend for x4 also, no problem. Right. Sir, here the information about speed is given, but there is no information about time. So we are going to get the information about time with the help of speed is equals to distance by time. Therefore time is equals to distance by speed, we can write. From this expression we are going to get the t1. So what we are going to get, t1, so t1 as d1, nothing but what, x1 by s1, and t2 distance by speed, and then t3 distance by speed. Let us substitute this in this, x1 plus x2 plus x3 by, in the place of t1 we can write x1 by s1, x2 by s2, x3 by s3. Okay, so this is the formula for average speed of an object. For suppose if the object covers equal distances, that means x1 is equals to x2 equals to x3 with speeds s1, s2 and s3, then what is the formula for average speed? Let us check it. So average speed is equals to x1 plus x2 plus x3. So x plus x plus x, from this we are going to get x common. So 1 by s1 plus 1 by s2 plus 1 by s3. So here 3x3 by, the denominator will be s1 s2 plus s2 s3 plus s3 s1 by s1 s2 s3. So LCM and finding that value, we are going to get like this. So this is denominator of denominator will be in numerator. Therefore speed average is equals to 3s1 s2 s3 by s1 s2 s2 s3 s3 s1. Right. Let us take one more case here. Case 2. For suppose if the total journey is dividing into two equal parts. So first half of the journey, so total length of the journey is x. So first half of the journey with the speed of s1 and the second half of the journey with the speed s2. Then in this case we are going to calculate the average speed formula. So average speed is equals to total distance by time taken. So total distance what? d1 plus d2 by t1 plus t2. So here again there is no information about time. So how can we get time? Time is equals to distance by speed we can write. So distance what? So t1 is equals to x by 2s and t2 is also equals to x by 2s 2. So substitute here. So distance x by 2 plus x by 2 by x by 2s1 plus x by 2s1. So x by 2 plus x by 2 will be x. From denominator we can get common x by 2. So 1 by s1 plus 1 by s2. So x get cancelled. We are going to get 2 by 1 by s1 plus 1 by s2. So by taking LCM in the denominator we are going to get 2 s1 s2 by s1 plus s2 is the average speed if the object covers first half of the journey with speed s1 and the next half with speed s2. So in this case we are getting the average speed formula 2s1 s2 by s1 plus s2. Right. So here there is information about the distance and speed. So in next case if there is information about the time and speed, then how to find out the average speed of the journey. So case 3. So case 3 is given like this. If object covers with speeds s1 s2 and s3 in time intervals t1, t2 and t3. In this case we are going to calculate average speed of the journey. So what is the formula for average speed? So total distance by total time taken. So d1 plus d2 plus d3, because 3 speeds are there and 3 time interval, that's why 3 distances we are going to get. So d1 d2 d3 by t1 plus t2 plus t3. So here we don't have information about the distance. Then how to find distance? So speed is equal to distance by time. Therefore distance is equal to we are going to get speed into time. So substitute here. So in the place of d1 we are going to get s1 t1 s2 t2 s3 t3 by total time interval t1 plus t2 plus t3. So this is the formula for average speed if there is no information about the distance, in this way we are going to convert the speed in terms of speed and time. Right, if t1 equals to t2, that is equals to 3, that means the time intervals are equal time intervals and the speeds s1, s2, s3. Then what will be the average speed? So average speed is equal to s1. So from this, if we substitute s1t, s2t, s3t by 3t, we are going to get. So t common, and denominator and numerator t are going to get cancelled. So s1 plus s2 plus s3 is the formula for average speed if the time interval t1, t2, t3 and the speeds will be s1, s2 and s3. Right, so these are the some special case related to the average speed. Now coming to the uniform speed. Sir, what is mean by uniform speed? So uniform speed nothing but if the speed of an object in its entire journey remains the same. If speed of an object remains same in its entire journey, then it is said to be uniform speed. Sir, what is the meaning of this? That means if the object is traveling between the 2 points, so it covers a distance of 100 meters in 20 seconds, next 100 meters in 20 seconds and next 100 meters in 20 seconds. That means it covers equal distances in equal time interval. If you calculate the speed from A to this point after 20 seconds, what is the speed? So in this journey, for suppose A to C, C, D, find out A to C. So speed nothing but what? Distance by time. 100 by 20, you are going to get 5 meter per second. From C to D also we are going to get 5 meter per second, and in each and every part of its journey it is covering the equal distances in equal interval of time. Then what is going to get constant? What is going to get remain same? Speed is going to remains same or constant. So this kind of journey is known to be uniform speed. So next, non-uniform speed. So what is mean by non-uniform speed? So non-uniform speed nothing but it do not covers equal distances in equal time interval. Okay, na? The object do not covers equal distances in equal time intervals. Okay, so in non-uniform speed, so which is not constant, so speed is not constant, so speed is continuously varying because the distance traveled by the body is not remain same in a regular time intervals, or in a unequal time interval, that the speed will not be constant. Right, so one more information about the uniform speed. So in case of uniform motion, the instantaneous speed is equals to uniform speed, or it is equals to average speed of an object. So what is the meaning of this? If the object is in uniform motion, if it is in uniform motion entire in its journey between any two time intervals, whatever the time interval you will take, Whatever the small time interval it may be, from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, or 0 to directly 4 you will take. At any time interval, the speed of an object will be remain same in case of uniform speed. So uniform speed nothing but what? At each and every time interval it covers equal distances. In the same way it will be equals to total distance by total time taken. So this is the information about speed of an object. Next, we are going to discuss about velocity. So velocity, in the beginning of this class we discussed. So velocity and speed both gives the same information, how fast the position of an object changes with respect to time. But what is the difference between these two? So velocity of an object gives the information change in displacement. Okay now, so that means the rate of change of displacement, the rate of change of displacement of an object, or it gives the information about displacement of an object in unit time. So we can write velocity v equals to dx by dt, or we can also write final position minus initial position by time interval, or we can also write delta x by delta t. I told you already. So the rate of change of displacement, so displacement has a specified direction. If we go in a particular path, then only we are going to get that least distance. So if you follow any other path, you are not going to get the same length as along this path AB. Okay, that means simply we can say that velocity is a vector quantity. So that means when you are adding the velocities of an object, we need to consider the vector laws of addition or subtraction should be considered, because it is a vector quantity. Sir, what about unit of this? Unit will be same meter per second. In the same way centimeter per second, and dimension formula is also same, LT power minus 1. So this is SI CGS, and it is dimension formula. So here the main difference between speed and velocity. So speed never be negative, but velocity can be negative, positive, and 0. So why it is 0? Because displacement can be 0. So if displacement can be 0, automatically we can get velocity is also 0. So in the similar manner to the speed, here also we are going to calculate velocity in different manners. So velocity same like speed, instantaneous velocity, average velocity, and uniform velocity, and last one is non-uniform velocity. So same v instantaneous velocity is nothing but limit of delta t tends to 0. So change in displacement by change in time interval. Okay, that means it gives the information about displacement of an object at that particular instant of time. Sir, will our speedometer will gives the instantaneous velocity. Yes, if the object is moving along a straight track, all I told you. So distance is equal to displacement. Under what condition? If the object is moving along a straight line, its distance is equal to displacement. If distance equals to displacement, then for that objects we can say, so speed is equals to velocity. That means for an object which is moving in a straight line, there is no difference between velocity and speed. So both will be same for an object which is moving along a straight line. Okay now, so when you, because we are discussing the concept as motion in a straight line, we are going to discuss in this entire chapter if the object moving along a straight path, if you are using it as a speed or velocity, it doesn't matter. We can call it as a speed, we can call it as a velocity. There is no difference between that until they mention that the object is moving along a curved path, there is no particular direction. In that case only it is going to be different. Sir, what about average velocity? Same. So average velocity nothing but total displacement by total time taken, x1 plus x2 plus x3 by t1 plus t2 plus t3. And the same way uniform velocity. Uniform velocity nothing but what? If the object covers equal displacements in equal time interval. So in a case of a uniform velocity, so which is constant, velocity of an object is constant. And in non-uniform motion, so non-uniform velocity nothing but what? Object does not covers equal distances in equal time interval. So this kind of motion is known to be non-uniform velocity. In non-uniform velocity, so velocity is not constant, velocity is varies. So in uniform velocity, v is constant. In non-uniform velocity, v is varies. So this is the information about the speed and velocity. So sometimes we are also expressing the displacement in terms of position vector. So in terms of position vector, how can we write? In terms of position vector, let us consider the initial position vector of a particle is r1, and after some time interval its final position is r2. So how can we represent? This is the time interval t1 and this is after time interval t2. So displacement we can write r2 minus r1. So this is r2 minus r1. Okay now, along y-axis distance and along x-axis time we are taking. So displacement delta r we can write r2 bar minus r1 bar, final position vector minus initial position vector. And what about time taken? So t2 minus t1, therefore we can write delta v is equals to r2 minus r1 by t2 minus t1. So in this way, in position vector we are going to calculate the change in position or velocity of an object in terms of position vector. So position vector r1 we can write x1i plus y1j. If it is in 3D, we are going to get z1k. So r2 bar we are going to write x2i plus y to j plus z to k. So this is the complete information about speed and velocity of an object. So thank you. Take care.